Yo, what's good? DC Sports Radio and DCSportsRadio.com. It's Mark, Jason. Saturday, August the 8th, our webcast for today. And last weekend, we made a big deal about this. How cool is this? In one form or another, NFL football will be on for the next, God, how many weeks? Till February 2010. Somewhere up until February 2010, NFL football in one form or another will be on Sundays, Mondays, a few Thursdays. Thank Jesus. My God. I know every offseason seems long. This just seemed like the ultimate longest. And especially for the Redskins, because with all the Jason Campbell, Mark Sanchez, Jay Cutler, Cole Brennan, I mean, the list goes on. Michael Vick, my God. Finally, it's coming to a close. Practice today, a scrimmage, I should say, and a little afternoon Eastern time right now. So this hasn't taken place yet, but they're gearing up for that. Hopefully, God, everyone will be healthy, and we'll see some good flashes of greatness. And, people being held out, Santana Moss being held out, I don't like that at all. Clinton Portis being held out, I think that's precautionary. Hainsworth, I think they're going to sit. I don't like the Moss thing. I don't like the Moss thing because, well, obviously he's injured. He tweaked a hammy. We went through this last year and the year before to a certain degree. I don't like that because we're trying to find the rhythm here with Jason Campbell. I don't like that at all. On the bright side, and we got to this earlier with some emerging Skins news that we got through a couple of players, the overall vibe and tone from Jim Zorn to Jason Campbell, and not Jim Zorn to the quarterbacks. Because you hear a lot of that. Zorn telling his quarterbacks to do what? And then that kind of makes you feel like, oh, God, is Campbell not the quarterback? Is he not the guy? But what we're hearing is Jim Zorn to Jason Campbell. His instructions are, you must light it up this year. And they're not going to do the whole, we'll be conservative going in for the first 3 or 4 games and gradually the offense will spread out. No. Zorn's going on with the plan. Jason, you have to light it up. You must take chances. You got to throw the ball down the field. You have to light it up. I like that. I like that, but I don't like that the one guy that he's probably going to be lighting it up to, Santana Moss, out for the scrimmage. I don't like that. Hopefully he'll be ready to go preseason game number 1. Antoine Randall, and I want to get to this because we talked about this a couple days ago. Who would be your fantasy Redskin wingman? Who would you most like to go to a bar and get all tore up with? I mean, we had thousands of emails at dcsportsradio@gmail.com, on our Facebook, tons of messages. You can search DC Sports Radio on Fbook. Antoine Randall was the resounding number 1. Number 2 was Clinton Portis, but I mean like 1,500 votes behind. And number 3 was Albert Hainsworth. So it went Randall, Clinton Portis, Albert Hainsworth. And a lot of the reasons, too, with Antoine Randall, and I think I got to agree with this. And I'm surprised, by the way, Chris Cooley not in the top 3. But do we already know enough about it? I mean, do you kind of just know how that would go? You know, that's the thing about Twitter and Facebook and everything. You feel like you get to know somebody. So it's almost like the mystique is gone. I'd love to get shit-canned with Chris Cooley. But Antoine Randall is a straight clown. Dude is a straight clown. I don't even know if he drinks. Well, I know Cooley's not scared to get tore up. Right? Yeah. Now, we know that. Antoine Randall, I don't know if he drinks. I mean, I know some guys that went to IU with him. I don't know that he was a party guy. I could be dead wrong in this. But I never heard the stories. He's clowning, though. He's a straight clown. And I would like to get tore up with him. And he was number 1. Redskins fantasy wingman. What Redskin would you most want to be your wingman at a bar? Antoine Randall, number 1. I like CP, too. Although I feel like CP wouldn't want to get torn up with me or anybody else. I'm like a 5'6" white guy. Would Clinton Portis want to get tore up with me? I think he'd look at me as a liability. Yeah, I got to haul this white guy around. Take care of this drunk ass. I'd love to get drunk with Clinton Portis. Antoine Randall, though, would be my number 1. Albert Hainsworth, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't let him drive after. I mean, although, I don't know, he could outrun the cops, maybe. God. Antoine Randall, by the way, that were on him quickly. What a camp this guy's had. And, everyone's going, Devin Thomas, number 2, he's going to take Randall L's spot. Hey, I'm cool with that. We've talked about that before. Randall L's going to be deadly in the slot. If Randall L can get in the slot, he will be deadly. And I look at the other NFC East teams' defenses, and honestly, the one defense, God, I don't even, and I'm comparing them to ours sort of kind of unconsciously, and you shouldn't do that because I think ours is just going to be ferocious. I don't like the Cowboys' defense. I mean, I just don't like that defense. For a million, I think their safeties are just so beatable. The line is okay. I think the linebacker core is probably, their best asset going in. I like the Giants' line a lot. Antonio Pierce is very solid, although overrated, by the way. And their secondary, average to very, very slightly above average. And the Eagles, you could just call them the week-to-week defense. Now, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. The Eagles' defense, boy, I don't know. They don't scare me. So with Randall L in the slot against those defenses, Randall L should catch 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys both times we play him. And I'm assuming that we make the playoffs and they don't, so we won't face them again in postseason. Okay, the 2 regularly scheduled Cowboy games. Randall L should have 2 touchdowns in each game. Okay, so that's 4 right there. The Giants, 1 or 2. I just don't see those being high-scoring games. And the Eagles, God, I don't know, he could have 10 or he could have none. The Eagles' defense is so suspect. So suspect. I like Randall L in the slot. He's had a great camp, and most people would like to go drinking with him. Devin Thomas at number 2, God, if he could stay healthy. And I don't think this latest thing is a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. But I also like DJ Hackett, if he had to come in. And system familiarity, yeah, that's cool and all that shit. But I like him. He's a solid athlete. And I think I like his feel for the football field. He's kind of a smooth route runner. And I just like probably maybe the smoothest we have. Santana Moss is, I don't like Santana Moss on the short route. I don't like it. It's choppy, and I think he runs somewhat predictable. Antoine Randall L is just a great all-around guy, and I think a good slot receiver. If Devin Thomas can improve the route running, at number 2, I think he's going to be really solid. And yards after the catch with Devin Thomas, I think could be effing insane this year. But I like DJ Hackett, and I think he'll step up. I know I'm leaving Malcolm Kelly out, but the question mark is too big right now. It's just too big. Even watching him run around, it's too big. He's a great big target out there, but the question mark is just huge. It's huge right now. And I'll tell you one thing. If this knee starts swelling up again, look for an immediate IR. They are not going to do this, what we did last year, and you can get that sense from Jim Zorn. No, Zorn ain't going to play that this year. We're not going to do this week to week and scopes and cleaning out the bone spurs and all that. We're not doing that. Forget it. All right, so as camp moves underway, we've got a couple injuries, but overall, I think the defense looks spectacular. I think the offense looks okay. The offensive line looks awful, and we've really got to keep people healthy. We have got to keep people healthy, but overall, I like what I'm seeing. I like Zorn's intensity, and the one thing that I'm really excited about is, again, Zorn's overall message, and we're getting this from players themselves, that we are going for the jugular. We will not play it safe. It is time for Jason Campbell to light it up. So I think in preseason you're going to see, a lot of times they'll say, well, we're just going to show you 10, 12, 15% of our offense. I don't think you're going to see that in preseason this year at all. I think we're going to lay our chips out on the table and we're going to bet big. You're going to have a big ass in preseason from Jim Zorn's playbook. I think he's going to show a big ass to see what we're working with. And damn it, I'm excited about it. All right, DCSportsRadio.com. Look us up on Facebook, DCSportsRadio.com. DCSportsRadio@gmail.com is the website, and Twitter, twitter.com/DCSportsRadio.